The Madison Council has given the library its first national private sector advisory and support group. So it's brought the perspectives of people from all over America, the experience of the private sector, where so much creativity lies. They now have a unique opportunity to add to the immense amount that the Congress has spent accumulating and preserving and making accessible this material.
A few years ago, we had a new member of the Madison Council, Lawrence Rockefeller, who was then in his 70s. He had never been in this building. And I'll never forget taking him into the main reading room, and it took his breath away. Now, this is a man who, when he was in his 20s, was building Rockefeller Center in New York. And he looked up, he looked at the dome of the main reading room around all the sculpture and the symbolism, and he put his hand over his chest, and he said, "What a magnificent monument to the written word."
So we think this can be a very crowning achievement and experience for members of the Madison Council who've helped us so much get things out there, but also it sets an example of librarianship everywhere by providing and reminding people that libraries as places are also very important for communities and for the health and growth of our society. And that's what all of the Madison Council outreach efforts have been basically focused on, and that's where this is going to have particular impact. As a kid, 9 years old, I came here to Washington for the first time and read the closing paragraphs of Lincoln's second inaugural address on the Lincoln Memorial. Then when I actually saw the text in Lincoln's hand, I mean, that was one of the most moving moments I'd ever had, because I sort of made my hair stand on that. What I discovered when I became Librarian of Congress was these collections and these curators who could bring them to life and take me into other worlds that I hadn't known about. Everybody's got to have that experience.
In the summer of 2007, the Capitol Visitor Center will open just across the street from the Thomas Jefferson Building.
And when it opens, a tunnel will connect that center to the Library of Congress.
It occurred to us that with this opening of a tunnel and a great increase in people are going to be coming to Washington to see the new Visitor Center, it'll be easier to get there, and it'll be easy to not just to see the amazing things that Americans and the rest of the world have created, but actually kind of experience it
in the way it was intended to be experienced. And that is very exciting.
The library's new visitors experience will be one of the most cutting-edge visitor and exhibition experiences to be had in Washington, D.C.
The new visitors experience will, for the first time, give the visitor an opportunity to come in and
not just look at these great treasures and be inspired by them. They'll get into the process. They'll see Jefferson's rough draft of the Declaration of Independence, but then they'll see the corrections that John Adams, that James Madison, that Benjamin Franklin made. And they'll realize that things are created by people. They don't just
appear out of nowhere. That's work that goes into them. And I think exhibitions here allow people to sort of peek under the covers and see the creative process.
On any given day in the spring, we can have as many as 10 to 15,000 visitors coming into this building.
And people coming directly to the library will come up the steps and enter through the main doors of the library. And this is the first time that for very deliberate public purposes, those main doors will be open.
And that's where the journey begins. This building goes right to the curb in terms of what it is and how it was designed.
You get a kind of passport to enter into this wonderland of discovery and knowledge. When you go in, this is deep and this is universal. It's the world's biggest supply of knowledge. It's the mint record of American creativity. We're going to not only put it out on the internet as we are doing, but we're going to make this a temple of dynamic access into the world of knowledge for ordinary people.
The whole building itself, yes, it's a miracle of design and construction.
And yet, up to this moment, less than 10% of the people that visit the Library of Congress actually get to know the building. And so we're going to use handheld wireless technology to enable them to see various elements of the building and to choose which elements they want to learn more about. The visitors will then go into orientation galleries on either side of the Great Hall. There, in a very fun but informative way, they will learn about the experiences that they can indulge in. The core experience will be a tour of the building, the Great Hall, and through wireless technology, a sound and light show. People will be able to learn about the architectural and artistic elements in that space.
I still occasionally go to the vestibule out just outside the Great Hall to hear people gasp when they walk through that arch for the first time, no matter what their age or where they're from.
The tour will continue over in the main reading room overlook. The main reading room is the heart of the library building. It is also the heart, therefore, of the experience. People will enter and will be able to walk around for the first time ever the full perimeter of the main reading room. And as they walk around the main reading room, we're hoping to use technology in which they can call up certain elements of the design they're looking at to turn them around virtually and to learn about their history, their meaning, and their significance. One technology that we're most enthusiastic about using is what we call page-by-page technology.
You'll be able to electronically turn the pages of these books with wonderful old prints in them.
We're building in technologies that seem almost invented for the use of an institution like this. In addition to that, we will have one set of galleries devoted to the new Kislak collection.
It's the story of the Americas before the Europeans arrived.
Covering about 1,000 years of experience. The immediate gallery beyond the World Treasures will be the Jefferson Library. His library shaped what the Library of Congress became.
For Jefferson, the greatest form of the pursuit of happiness was the pursuit of knowledge, really, the pursuit of truth.
People associate libraries to be stuffy old buildings with a lot of books on the wall. The Library of Congress definitely is not one of those kinds of libraries.
It's the biggest collection of practically everything.
Prints and photographs,
The world's greatest collection of maps, the world's greatest collection of movies.
videos, recorded sound, music, manuscripts, rare books.
This new visitor's experience, in many ways, exemplifies the role that the Congress has played in helping to educate the American public.
So there'll be more exhibitions to reach a broader audience.
But it really is one of the great public spaces in America. So one of the exciting things about this whole project is to, in a way, reintroduce this building to the American public and to visitors from all over the world.
The new center is going to provide a tremendous number of educational opportunities, really for people of all generations. Kids will be able to interact with the different documents that we have here at the library, to play games, to almost touch and feel virtually the different materials that we have here at the library.
Come in and discover something maybe about themselves. To go into American Treasures and see the contents of Lincoln's pockets the night he died. It's a way to touch a leader like Lincoln, to have almost a personal relationship with someone like the greatest president of the United States.
Or you take the Waldseemüller map, which is the first record that's based on the original Spanish and Portuguese discovery of the New World. It's the first time the word America is ever used. It's the first image of the New World.
One of the components of the new Visitors Center will be a program that we're calling Knowledge Quest.
It's sort of a treasure hunt for children.
It's a game-based overview which will be embedded in each of the galleries.
Kids can go in and they can actually explore the items.
The learning doesn't just end when you walk out the doors of the Library of Congress, but it continues on our website.
Teachers can bring groups in for field trips, and then they can continue that experience and delve deeper into our materials once they get back to their classrooms.
This is a vehicle that I can't imagine the creative private sector won't want to develop.
There's going to be a sense of pride in your country when you come here. The documents of founding fathers that led to our democracy, the music that's influenced the world, in seeing that in composers and songwriters and performers' own hands.
We think that's really going to be a magical kind of experience that will celebrate just what libraries mean to this country.
And it will, again, create these lifelong learners and create lifelong users of the library.
There is no better brand than the name of the Library of Congress. It's a unique opportunity for corporate America or individual donors to have an association with the Library of Congress. This is an opportunity for corporate America to give back to the American people. We want the visitors to understand that not only are we Congress's library, but we indeed are their library.
We serve all of America, and I would hope that our private sector would see the importance of generating this battery that can give off a lot of energy that will be shared with people everywhere.
And actually what we'll be doing at that point is creating, from a very young age, lifelong patrons of the Library of Congress.
One of the challenges for this project is to look at our sister institutions with what they have done and the technologies they have implemented and take a step forward above and beyond what they have done. We will continue to bring the people who have the physical experience here at the library back to the website and to continue that relationship with them for a long time.
And that's our challenge. And we've got the material for it, we've got the people for it. We're going to bring it about because we owe it to the American people who supported this enormous library. It's the story of America.